the man who would be the Bat. So, this episode I looked into a little bit, and we are getting an episode about MANBAT. I do vaguely remember MANBAT being in the show, so it should be interesting to see what they do with him. Now, the character of MANBAT, I often feel is sort of a less fun version of Lizard from Spider-Man. Um, Very similar stories. A lot of versions of Man-Bat even make him deaf, which is why he did the experiment that turned him into Man-Bat was supposed to like cure his deafness, much like Lizard wanted to grow back his hand. So anyway, there's just a very strong connection between the two characters. I think if I had to pick one or the other, Lizard is easily the better choice of character. Another thing that's interesting about Man-Bat is the very first episode, Batman the Animated Series, featured Man-Bat as the villain. So, it's sort of interesting that they use him here because the show clearly a lot of the sort of choices in this show were made to differentiate it from Batman the Animated Series. It will be interesting to just sort of look and see if that plays into this particular character. With that being said, hello, my students, and welcome to Tangent Studies, where there's not too much studying, but we do watch a thing and then we talk about it. That's what the tangent is of the tangent study. I should really figure out a um, regular introduction, but I have not done that yet. Let's jump right into the episode. But before we do, I do always recommend that you watch the episode before watching me react to it, because there will be spoilers, there will be all these sorts of things, and the experience of watching a TV show is a lot better than just watching some weirdo react to it on the internet. Whatever, your choice. You've got free will, but do check out the episode. I think it's probably worth it.
Hold up. The Batman nails thugs for us again, and this is the thanks he gets?
I just want to tell him how grateful I am, up close and personal.
Imagine that. Lost him. Coincidence?
If you were the Batman, what kind of pets would you have?
Fun fact, I heard, I don't know how true this is, but the bat that crashed into Batman's window, apparently at one point in comic books it was suggested that that bat may have actually come from, the scientist that would later on be called Man-Bat. Um, so anyway, that's kind of fun. Like it doesn't change anything. But I don't know. It seems fun. It seems like a fun idea.
Wayne?
The Titan Tower.
Industries.
Oh, Wayne Industries. Okay. Isn't his company usually Wayne Enterprises? I'm gonna double check that. Okay, so it's usually Wayne Enterprises, but like Wayne Industries is also used sometimes, so maybe it's like part of like a branching part of different wing of the company. Also, I think Wayne Corp is also used sometimes, which that I'm not a fan of because it sounds too much like LexCorp. Now you might think that's silly, but It just feels like you want different names for your tech companies in the DC universe, you know?
Drop the act, buddy. We know you're the Batman. Psych! You the Batman!
It's funny how they did that same sort of joke in the first episode, but I guess it's a little different here. First episode they're just like, "Oh, you're under arrest." In this episode he's like, "We know you're the Batman." Let's see where this goes. My guess Kurt Langstrom works here. Fun fact, his first name's Robert. His name's Robert Kurt Langstrom.
What do you know about the Batman?
I never paid much attention. But if he likes bats, he can't be all bad.
Do they really think this guy's the Batman? I mean, I guess he could be, but he definitely doesn't look like he's the Batman.
My niece, Carly. She lost her hearing when she was 3 after a bout with measles. She's the reason for my research, Mr. Wayne.
Okay, so in this version, he's not deaf, but his niece is. That's interesting. I wonder if that's ever in the comics.
Hi, Carly. I brought you this hearing aid until your uncle can.
Mom! There's some total weirdo at the door!
You can hear?
So that's really funny. She's not deaf. Langstrom just said that she was so that he could keep doing his research. That seems like kind of actually a fun way to go about it because, not every version of Langstrom is deaf. Sometimes he's just obsessed with bats. So it's a fun way to do it where it's like he sort of uses the deafness as an excuse to just like experiment with bats and stuff. I kind of like the idea.
If you're not curing deafness, what are you up to? The Batman, vigilante or hero?
So, fun fact, in some versions of MANBAT's origin, he actually wanted to become MANBAT to actually help Batman fight crime. So, there you go.
Batman.
You want to be a crime fighter?
No, Mr. Wayne. I want to be feared.
Again, in some versions of the comics, he did want to be a crime fighter. So, it's fun.
Forced me. The birth of MANBAT.
That was an extremely fast transformation. In the comic books, it starts by he's like able to hear really good, and then he realizes that light hurts his eyes, and also like all of the noise gets annoying, and then like eventually he slowly starts turning more and more bat like. Um, it's really interesting that like he transforms when Bruce Wayne is there. I can't help but wonder like like that's a guaranteed way to get Wayne to like cut his research. So I wonder what he was thinking by transforming into a man bat in front of Bruce Wayne.
We want to talk to Dr. Bat again. That dork act didn't sit right with me.
Langstrom? Oh, he's gone. Flew right out of here just minutes ago. Now, if you'll excuse me.
This is kind of a clever way to do a, like popular Batman villain and tie it into the storyline of like the police are after Batman. I also want to say that like one of the things that like this show really wanted to do is it wanted to have less sympathetic villains for the main part. So I think that's part of why they had ManBat not trying to cure deafness, is because they want him to be a more black and white villain. And again, that was to separate this show from Batman the Animated Series, which the makers of this show liked, but they wanted to be different then.
Let's have a look. Would the discovery of several mammals found completely drained of blood qualify?
Langstrom couldn't have used fruit bats.
Begging your pardon, Master Bruce.
Let's just say, I'm no longer the only bat in town.
So, this version of ManBat is El Chupacabra. Confirmed.
This has to end now, before you start feeding on humans.
Oh, but I'm so close to my goal. 2 more doses of my formula, and the Man-Bat will rule the night forever.
Okay, so maybe that answers the question of why is he transforming from Bruce Wayne? If he already has the formula he needs at this point, maybe it doesn't matter to him that his research will be shut down, because his goal is to turn into a permanent Batman. Man-Bat, rather. So right there, when they had
You're not Langstrom.
when they have her hit Batman, like the screen goes white for a second. I just think that's a cool detail. What is this slime stuff that Man-Bat spits? Do bats spit slime? I don't think so. Yeah, so that is just the thing for the show, is Man-Bat spitting out like weird spider web-esque slime stuff. I don't know why. I guess just because. Why not? It's fine. It works. Dude, it would take so long to fix that in the sewers. Like, I hope Gotham has the best plumbers, because, a lot of people's toilets aren't going to be able to flush for a while.
And you don't know anything about this, Wayne.
Hey, I've known Bruce since high school. He'd never interfere in a police investigation. Right, Bruce?
I like to think I help law enforcement whenever I can.
Personally,
That's funny, because he's Batman helping law enforcement. You got the joke. So did I. I just wanted to spell it out. That was fun. Not the best episode of the show. Yeah, I don't remember if they brought back Man-Bat or not. He's not one of my favorite characters. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, it's kind of just the Batman alternative to Lizard, and Lizard's cooler because he's a giant lizard. But yeah, no, this show continues to be like an interesting take on Batman that's stylized in an interesting way. And it will be interesting to see the evolution of this show, because I did watch it as a kid, and I do know that as the show goes on, it sort of continues to more of line up with what we expect from a Batman show, where you introduce Batgirl and Robin, Jim Gordon. I think in season 2 we get Jim Gordon. Yeah, but so you guys have been enjoying this, and I've also been enjoying it. So, like, and I'll link a playlist of the rest of my reviews of this. And I will see you next time. Class dismissed. Farewell. Live long and prosper. Bye.